I'll go live. ठीक है, अभी now we are online. So we left at the pleasurable feeling. That is, if anything is felt physically or mentally which is pleasing or enjoyable is a pleasurable. If it is painful, then it becomes a painful feeling. And if there is no feeling at all, meaning when we see someone, when we touch something and we are not bothered about it, that becomes neither pleasurable nor painful, which becomes neutral. But there is something. What is pleasure, what is pain, and what is in each of these three feelings, that is, what becomes painful and what becomes pleasurable, is a question. Now, pleasant feeling is pleasant when it remains and there is no pain encountered. What it means is that just now, like what Kalpana said, so she was having anxiety and now the report has come, so there is no anxiety, so there is a pleasurable feeling. If the report was something else, then there would be painful feeling. So either of the one feeling will remain. If it is pleasurable, there is no painful. If there is painful, then there is no pleasurable. So if the pleasure feeling were to stay, the human being keeps on saying that let it remain all the time. But when the news comes or something comes, that means the five senses see something like yampichan alabati tampi dukkhan or appiyehi sampayogo dukkho piyehi vipayogo dukkho. What it means is that appiyehi sampayogo dukkho, the five sense objects which are not liked is being touched, then it turns into a painful feeling. But at that time there is no pleasure. Example, you and Suyog are working in medical hospital or medical college. So you don't feel anything about medical college and you go to work. That means you like, or there is a pleasant feeling, or there is a neutral feeling, but you don't have a painful feeling. If you had a painful feeling, you don't have gone to the hospital to work. But for a patient, there is a painful feeling. The same hospital, one person feels painful, another person feels pleasurable or neutral. But when you are feeling pleasurable, there is no painful nor there is neutral. But when you are feeling painful, there is neither pleasurable nor neutral. When you are feeling neutral, there is neither pleasurable nor painful. So what I want to say is, if I am meeting somebody for the first time, then it is neutral. But if I don't like the person, it becomes painful. So appiyehi sampayogo dukkho, connecting or meeting someone whom you don't like is dukkha. Piyehi vipayogo dukkho, going away from the loved ones is a dukkha, because you are going to have a different sight, a different sound, different taste, different touch, different smell, and because of that the person feels uncomfortable. That is, the painful feeling starts immediately. The pleasurable feeling goes away. the painful feeling will start. So this is how the feelings are. So if the mind were to attach itself to the feeling based upon perception, what happens here is that perception gives rise to feeling, feeling gives rise to perception. So we would always go behind pleasurable, but when the pleasure is gone, turns into painful. And when we don't know both the painful and pleasurable, that becomes neutral, but that is the avidya, because that is where the ignorance is. Consciousness is neutral, but using the consciousness, the mind enjoys or suffers. Mind feels pleasure, mind feels the pain, mind feels the neutral. So neutral feeling is pleasant when there is knowledge, and painful when there is ignorance. So this is what Dhamma is all about. This is about Nibbana. If I want Nibbana, I should concentrate on the neutral feeling. So when I concentrate on the neutral feeling, what is going to happen is that the mind lets go of conditions on both pleasurable and painful. So knowledge of neutral feeling is knowledge, or neutral feeling, if you really experience it, by knowing it, then it becomes vidya, knowledge. If not, if I don't understand, it becomes painful because it is ignorance. So then Visaka asks a question: what tendencies are there under each one of these feelings? How does a person get to experience these feelings? What are the anushaya, that is hidden? Anuseti, that is how it gets connected. Dukkhaya vedanaya kim anusayo anuseti, adukkama asukha vedanaya kim anushayo anuseti iti. That is, how does these conditions or these tendencies come to be, to experience? So Dhammadinna then she explains that what causes pleasant feeling expectation. The pleasant feeling comes to be due to greed, lobha. Raganusayo anuseti. So we already spoke about raga, that is sensual desire is the cause, and that transforms itself into greed. That is, once I get it, I want more and more and more and more, because that is what tanha is all about. You want it to enjoy more and more, and that turns into upadhana. That is, I will not give, it's for me, I want to enjoy it. So that creates raganushaya, creates the tendency for pleasant feeling or expecting the pleasant feeling. Patighanusayo is for painful feeling, dukkha. So you feel the mental pain when the thing what should have been received is not received. Then the person becomes very angry, the person becomes very aggressive, irritated, agitated, and all that. So that is the underlying tendency. That means that is what creates this tendency to associate with the painful feeling. It is the patigha. And avidya is for the neutral feeling. I don't even know there is something called neutral feeling. That is how a normal human being would be. He doesn't know. There is something neutral. He only knows two things. Either there is raga and dvesha. And he doesn't know the moha point of view, because that is where the feeling is neutral. So if you break open the neutral feeling or the moha, then the raga and dvesha goes away, because that is what leads to nibbana. So then the question asked by Visaka, do these tendencies, meaning do these experience when a person gets into raga, patigha and avidya, always there in the feeling, or they are not? Meaning, does this tendency means to get into this, is always there or not? And she says no, it is not there. That means there is a chance of coming out of it. If it is always there, then you cannot come out of it. Meaning, it is to the mind to decide whether it wants to associate with a pleasurable feeling or painful feeling or the neutral feeling. It is not all the time like that. It is the mind way of looking at it. So then Visaka asked this question, what should be given up, or what should the mind give up in regard to these three feelings? So she says, you have to see the reason for raga and you have to give up. Now there is a one thing for raga is ra plus ga, so it is sticks, like what we spoke the other day. Yellow color. Why it sticks? It sticks because it is made out of sticky material. What is the sticky material is the person sees as though there is an enjoyment in that. I'll give an example. Now let us say I am eating the chapati with some sabzi, and I am say from Maharashtra, where chapati is predominant. Or let us say I am from southern part of Karnataka, where only rice is predominant. So we will take two conditions. One born in Maharashtra, where chapati is predominant, and one born in southern part of India or southern Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, wherever, where rice is predominant. Now the raga will come based upon the food what is prepared out of wheat in the Vidarbha region or in the Maharashtra region. And in the South India, since rice is grown, different dishes of rice are made. So different dishes of wheat are made there and different dishes of the rice is made here. Now the person loves in that particular place, he might love a particular curry and chapati. So when he comes to South India, he doesn't want to let go of chapati and the curry, what he likes, because he's used to it and he is sticking to it. He sticks to that. That's what he wants to eat. In the same way, if the South Indian person goes to Maharashtra and Vidarbha side or Maharashtra side, and then he has to eat chapati and some curry. Now he wants what he's been eating, rice. That person is eating wheat, but both are grains only. If that much of understanding comes, then the raga is not there. Meaning it is just a food. whether you eat rice or you eat wheat, it doesn't matter, because you are eating the food where it is grown. If you are born in Maharashtra where wheat is grown, rice will be less. So there is nothing to say that wheat eating is good over rice. Or if you come to South India, they eat rice, they don't eat wheat, because rice grows in a very good quantity here in that region. So they eat rice. So the rice eating person will not feel happy about the wheat eating person, and the wheat eating person will not feel happy about the rice eating person. So then they will create story for wheat and they will create story for rice. And this is how loka gets created. And when the loka gets created, that person will naturally have a tendency to feel happiness, happy feeling when he gets chapati, unhappy feeling when he gets no chapati. Similarly, for a South Indian who has gone into Maharashtra or Vidarbha, the wheat, if it is made, he doesn't like, because he gets a painful feeling. If he gets rice, he gets a pleasurable feeling. And he requires, or he wants to eat rice with some sambar or some rasam or something like that. If he's from Andhra, he would like to have a lot of hot, spicy, very spicy food. So now this is how they would look at life. And for them, that is the truth. They will not see it is just a food. It is just a grain. Wheat is a grain, rice is a grain. They will see wheat is something, rice is something. So now it becomes an aspect to either enjoy or to suffer. Now what she says, Dhammadinna says, you leave the greed or you leave the raga, the greed will go away. Raga for what? Raga for rice. Because it's just a food. You have to fill up your stomach. So you eat. Whether you get wheat, you get rice, you get curry, you get sambar, you get rasam, you get this, you get dry. Doesn't matter. You have raita, you have bundi raita, this one, that one, ice cream. All of that is just food. Then the raga is not there. When I get chapati, since I eat only rice, when I get chapati, I will not feel bad, because that is how Maharashtra and Vidarbha are. So I've gone to that state, so it is better I eat that one. So then there is no patigha. Okay. Third one, if I not have the raga and if I don't have dvesha, automatically my mind is very calm and I can observe this calmness of the mind. That means I am not ignorant of that calmness. And that is the way you remove the tendency. So the underlying tendency of ignorance is given up when it comes to neutral feeling. So raga is removed in pleasurable feeling, patigha is removed in the painful feeling, then the avijja is removed in neutral feeling. Why should you do it? Because Vedana is the cause for every problem after that. So if we take avijja pachay sankhara, sankhara pachay vijnana, vijnana pachay namarupa, namarupa pachay salayatana, salayatana pachay phassa, phassa pachay vedana, and from Vedana the problem starts. Vedana pachay tanha, tanha pachay upadana, upadana pachay bhava, bhava pachay jati, jati pachay jara marana soka parideva dukkha domanasa upayasa sambhavanti. Emaveva kevalassa dukkha khandassa samudaya hoti. So if we see this, if we are able to understand what is this pleasurable feeling, what is this painful feeling, and what is this neutral feeling, we can keep our mind completely aligned, completely fit enough. So let's say I get hungry, I eat. If I don't get hungry, there is no need to eat. I used to talk about for myself. So I will share that with you. Let us say a person has just done his matriculation, 10th standard or 10th grade, and he could not study further. So he has to do a lot of effort to earn a decent amount of money. And let us say he is earning 10,000 rupees a month, so 1,20,000 rupees, and he will have to take at least 30 to 40 years to accumulate a good amount of money. Another person is there who has done graduation. So the graduated person will not have to work so much. He can reduce because he has done his graduation, so his earning potential is more. Then there is another person who has done his masters, so his earning potential is even more. A person, he has not done any one of these, but he is a businessman, his earning potential is even more. So what it means is that if you are earning has, let's say, in 30 years time, a person might have home, might have car, might have decent bank balance, whereas a person who has graduated, or he has done masters, or he has done PhD, or in the business, or whatever it is, if you get everything within 20-30 years, that means within 50 you have everything, then the remaining life you can spend on Dhamma, because you have enough. That person don't have to now look at, oh, what will I do? Dhamma is there. Why? Because the son or the daughter is settled, the husband is earning, so the wife can get into Dhamma. Husband and wife both are earning, they both can get into Dhamma, because they have everything. They have a home, yes, home is there. Want a car, car is there. Some decent bank balance, yes. But if I start looking that, what if I get sick? What if that happens? What if this happens? What is this happening? Then is a problem, because it is raga. I will always enjoy the raga, and when I don't get that, I will always suffer the painful feeling, because there is patigha. So when we don't get something what we want, there is always patigha, and when we get something what we want, there is always raga. So the samsara can never be won over. So if we want to end the samsara and enter into nibbana, both the raga and patigha has to be removed, or raga dvesha has to be removed. And the third one, the neutral feeling, which is the avidya, where your mind is so calm. Right now it is due to avidya, we don't know. But when the mind becomes very calm, you can really enjoy that. And when vidya comes, then you are at peace. At that time, even if you are given $1 million, you don't know what to do with that. You'll say, what should I do with this? Because this is more exceedingly better. That is panitan. It is so beautiful. So your mind is etan santan, because now the mind has given up the raga, dvesha and moha. So this is what she explains. So now Visaka goes even more deeper to ask her. He asks her, should these feelings, or do these tendencies should be given up regarding all instances? That means in all the instances of these feelings. That means say that all the time you try remove it, or adding it, modifying it, whatever you want to do. And she says, no, not in all instances. Then she explains what you are going to do. So she says, when the person wants to remove the raga, he will enter into first jhana, savitaka savichara. Then he gets that piti sukha ekagata, and he will observe. The underlying tendency for raga is gone. Okay. So when that is gone, he can verify very well verify that the tendency is gone, so they can remain in that for a long period of time. And then he will reflect. When he reflects like that, what happens? He will start to think, when will I enter and remain in the same dimension that the noble one enters and remain in today? That means, when will I become an Arahat? He will start thinking, he or she. And when he or she starts to looking like that about supreme liberation, based upon the first jhana, it gives rise to sadness. Sadness. Why sadness? Because the person gets into domanasa, that I am yet to get into the jhanic bliss of an Arahat. I should get that. When she gets that, or when he gets that, this small repulsive tendency that when I don't get this one, when I don't get that one, about material or money or this or that, food, touch, all the five sense objects loses their interest. That is, the senses loses the interest of the sense object. And because they lose the sense object's interest, the underlying repulsion also goes away. Then when these two are gone, he now reflects about the former happiness, that is somanasa, and former sadness, which is domanasa. And now he will enter, or she will enter, into fourth jhana without pleasure or pain, with pure equanimity and upasampajja viharati. That is, he becomes very ardent and mindful. Because the person gets into the fourth jhana, the underlying tendencies, that is the mind's tendency to go into this ignorance of feeling, will go away. So he enters into first jhana, raga goes away. Then he reflects, when will I become an Arahat? The dvesha or patigga goes away. And when he enters into the fourth jhana, the ignorance goes away. So what we should practice? First question. You want pleasure? Compare the sensual pleasure with the jhanic pleasure. Immediately, let us say, I'll give few examples. Now I am going out. When I am going out, I am seeing a restaurant. Now I see their masala dosa, and my mouth is watering to eat that masala dosa. At that very moment comes the raga to have that masala dosa. Now I will think I will have two masala dosa because I am now having hunger. So raga creates more hunger. Even though the stomach is not feeling hungry, there is raga hunger because I just now saw the masala dosa. Now what I need to do is, at that very moment, I have to observe this raga which is come and reflect upon the first jhana with savitaka savichara and observe. I don't have to close my eyes and do that. I can open my eyes itself and do it. Savitaka savichara. How do I do savitaka savichara? At that very moment, I can do this in the mind. Etan santan etan panitan yadidam sabba sankhara samato sabbupadi patinisaggo tanhakhayo virago nirodho. 3 times. Immediately the mind gets into first jhana. Now the masala dosa is gone. Not that I should not eat masala dosa, but the raga for masala dosa is gone. Now I see it as a food. Earlier I was seeing it as a masala dosa. So the mouth was seeking for masala dosa. Now what I should do is, I should take it as a food. If I take it as just ahara, no name and form of masala dosa, chutney and that sabzi and sambar and this and that, everything taken together is a food. Do you require the food? Yes or no? No, I am full. No need. So raga is gone. First jhana. Now coming to the second, which is the patigha. Patigha happens due to a reason that masala dosa I am not able to have, or my wife says, let us not eat there, we will eat somewhere else. So I want to eat it somewhere, or I have to go somewhere, or she's not hungry but I am hungry to eat masala dosa. So there is patigha. Now I need to reflect, if my life were to end now And due to this irritation that I did not have masala dosa, I am born in a bad realm of existence. And how the Arhats or Anagamis are leading their life, then immediately that patika is gone. Because my mind is now established in becoming an Anagami, at least minimum. Because I will be again coming back to the womb existence, again ahara has to be taken, and this masala dosa also ahara. So to keep on earning, I have to keep on doing the same thing. So there's no need. So two things gone. Very nice. Now comes to the third one. If these two are gone, reasonably it is good. So now when we go to the restaurant and sit, no need to close the eyes for the fourth jhana. You have to remove four things to enter into fourth jhana. First thing, observe whether there is a pleasurable feeling. No. Observe there is any irritation, painful feeling. No. Observe whether there is any body feeling of pleasure. No. Observe any body painful feeling. No. Now you can establish fourth jhana just in the restaurant or wherever. But this is what I have to do. If I miss that, Kama Raga will again take over. Let us say it misses. And then I can't do anything because now I am held by Kama Raga. So Patigha is going to be there. So Kama Raga, Patigha is going to be there all the time. Okay, so Kama Chanda, Kama Raga almost are the same. Patigha and the Dvesha, all that, they both are same. So Vyapada, these three words are the same. So if I don't want the two hindrances, Kama Chanda and Vyapada, what I should do then? Just observe Raga, just observe Dvesha. That's all. Now, if I touch someone, let us say a girl comes to my home, even though I'm married, having a son, still I have lust. Why? Because of the skin, because of the softness of the skin. What I need to reflect to remove raga? I need to observe the loathsomeness or filthiness of the body. That's all I need to do. So when a girl comes, there is no girl, there is only a being. And she is eating food for this body to grow. I have to keep on telling to myself, look, there is no girl there. What you are seeing is just the body growing due to food. And she will die. You will also die. She will also die. Now when there is death, death is painful. You don't know where you are going. Do you want that girl? The mind will say no. I don't want that girl. First jhana can be established. And when the first jhana gets established, girl is gone. Because this pleasure is more better than having a sensual pleasure of the girl. But Kama Raga will take over. If I don't observe at that moment, Kama Raga will take over. If it takes over, again I'm caught up in that. Meaning I will start enjoying the girl. So she comes to my home and I touch her or she touches me. I feel very happy. She feels happy. So this is a problem. Okay. Okay, because the underlying lust is there. The underlying, that means the tendency to feel lustful is there. So as long as that is there, pleasure is felt. So to remove that pleasure, you have to get another pleasure, which is jhanic pleasure. Otherwise, mind will not give up. No matter how much you say, I will not do this, I will not do this, I will not do this, mind will continue to do it because it is habituated. It is having created a habit. So what should I do then? You have to create another habit to cut this habit. So she says, to cut the raga, get into first jhana. To cut patikha, if you want to cut the patikha, then you look at the sadness, do manasa, of not being an Arahat, not being an Anagami, not being a Sakadagami, or not being even Sotapan. Look at how animals are, how birds are, how insects are, and there is all opportunity to become that. Then the mind drops. Mind says, no, I don't want to go there. So the patigga is gone. Establishing fourth jhana will remove the ignorance. So now he asks her, Patibhaga. Patibhaga means counterpart. So now each becomes one question and each becomes one answer to that. So he asks, what is the counterpart? That is a coin. This part is heads, this part is tail. If heads comes, tail is not there. So the counterpart of pleasant feeling is painful. Then what is the counterpart for a painful feeling? Pleasant feeling. What is the counterpart of neutral feeling? Avidya, ignorance. What is the counterpart of ignorance? Vidya, knowledge. What is the counterpart of knowledge? Freedom. Vimukti. And what is the counterpart of freedom? Now she says Nibbana. And he does a mistake because he has not experienced Nibbana. He then asks Visaka, what is the counterpart of Nibbana? Now Dhammadinna stops. She says, your question has gone very far. You couldn't understand the limit of your question. Because Nibbana is ending of everything. And you are now asking me, pleasure feeling comes out of jhana. So what is the painful feeling? What is the counterpart? Painful. That is, you have two kinds of painful feeling. One is samisa, one is niramisa. Niramisa is a jhanic. When you get into jhana, you have not been able to establish the way Aryas establish. So you get dukkha. That is niramisa dukkha. Samisa dukkha is you are not enjoying the sensual pleasure. So it is samisa dukkha. So samisa dukkha, niramisa dukkha. Samisa sukha, niramisa sukha. These two. So she says, when you ask me this question, what is the counterpart for pleasurable feeling? I told you painful. And when you ask me counterpart for painful, I said it is pleasure. And when you ask me what is the counterpart for the neutral feeling, I said avidya, ignorance. You should have understood there that avidya pachay sankhara starts from there. You did not understand. Then you immediately ask me what is the counterpart of ignorance. What is the other side of ignorance? Vidya. Then you again ask me what is the counterpart of vidya. I said vimukti, because when you have knowledge, you know how to get into mukti. Now you ask me what is the counterpart of the vimukti. I said nibbana. Now you are asking me what is beyond nibbana. There's nothing. So this sutta is a beautiful one to establish everything. That is how to get out of raga, how to get out of dvesha, how to get out of moha, how to leave all the senses. And this question and answer is so nice. So she says that having answered all of this, you could not understand. And this is what I have understood. So why don't you go to the Buddha and ask him this question? You should remember it in the line with his answer. Okay. And this Visakha approved what he has heard from Dhammadinna and agreed with what Dhammadinna said. He got up from his seat, bowed and circled her. Then he went to the Buddha and bowed and sat down at one side and informed the Buddha all that was discussed. When he had spoken, the nun or the bhikkhuni is indeed, she is reached where she should reach. Pandita Visakha Dhammadinna bhikkhuno Mahapanya Visakha Dhammadinna bhikkhuno Manchepi Tvam Visakha Etamatham Puchheyasi Ahampi Tam Evamevam Bhyakareyam Yatha Tam Dhammadinaya Bhikkhuniya Bhyakatam. What it means is, Buddha says two things. Pandita, she is a person who knows everything. And she not only knows that, she has gained wisdom. That is panya, complete. That means she has reached Arahat. So if you have come to me and asked this question, I would have answered the way Dhammadinna has answered. No change. And now you go back and remember it. Whatever Dhammadinna has said as an answer, starting from the 5 aggregates to everything, you remember and you practice. So Visakha was very happy with what Buddha said. He was also very happy with Dhammadinna, because his doubt that whether Dhammadinna is an Arahat or not went away. 6 months after meeting Dhammadinna, Visakha became an Arahat. Okay, so this is the story. I thought today it will take till 9 p.m. because there are not many people to ask me questions, so I think we finished it. But we will go from the beginning once to understand everything, so it becomes very easy. How does the identity comes to be? Identity comes to be through the 5 Upadhana, 5 aggregates are the identity. What is Upadhana? Upa plus Dana. or Upadhana. Upa plus Adhana. Adhana means to give up. Dana is to hold. So, if we hold something to ourselves and not give it at all, that becomes clinging. So you hold it. So these five, that is Rupa, the form, my form, your form, this form, that form, all are form, coming from four elements. That one plus the form created by sight, sound, taste, touch, smell and thoughts are also the form. So this gives a feeling, Sukha Vedana, Dukkha Vedana, Adukha Sukha Vedana, that is pleasurable feeling, painful feeling and neutral feeling. And because of the form and the feeling comes a perception. Because of these three create sankhara, and the experiencer is what the vijnana will provide, the consciousness will provide. And that is how the person will crave for sensual pleasure, crave for existence, and crave for something shouldn't exist, meaning kama tanaha, bhava tanaha, vibhava tanaha. And that is what is the origin of identity. So cessation of identity is leaving out the craving. So piyarupam, satharupam, upajjamana, upajjati, nivisamana, nivisati. So if piyarupa, likable, and satharupam, agreeable, piyarupam, satharupam, ithesa tanha, wherever that likable and agreeable comes, tanha will get established. Upajjamana, upajjati, nivisamana, nivisati, that means it gets established. Similarly, if somebody were to leave that tanha, where does he live? Wherever it started, that is piyarupam, satharupam, ithesa tanha, pahiyamana, pahiyati, nirujjamana, nirujjati. Pahi is to cut, to remove. So nirujjati means nirujja, to arise again. It doesn't arise because he has cut it off. So the second noble truth is the cause of the suffering. Third noble truth is cessation of suffering. So the dukkha is removed. So how does it come to be? So the fourth noble truth, which is right, the proper view, proper thought, proper determination, proper speech, proper action, proper livelihood, proper effort, proper remembrance, and proper samadhi. Now, how does grasping come to be, which we have already seen? The desire and greed for the five grasping happens. So when the person doesn't know, he will regard, I am the form, myself is the form, I have come because of the form, I am existing in the form, all that will happen. Then it can be removed. And the noble eightfold path, when we see it, the categories, the training categories are there in these three. That is right effort, samma vayamo, samma sati, samma samadhi. All the three are called as samadhi. There is no separate. So first three. Second three. Samma vacha, samma kammanto, samma ajivo. Sila. And the samma ditti, samma sankappo, is panya. So sila, samadhi, panya. Samma vacha, samma kammanto, samma ajivo. Sila. Samma vayamo, samma sati, samma samadhi is samadhi. Samma samma ditti, samma sankappo is panya. Sila, samadhi, panya. So when we establish this, how do we get into samadhi? Chittasya ekagata ayam samadhi. So when the mind is in ekagata, savitakka savichara piti sukhe ekagata, that is called samadhi. And the four sati, that is kaya, vedana, chitta, dhamma, that is sammapadhana, samadhi parikkara, prerequisites for getting into samadhi. Then removing bad things, adding good things, that is the kusala, adding the kusala, removing akusala. So ya tesam eva dhammanam asevana bhavana bahuli kammam ayam yatha samadhi bhavana. Chattaro sammapadana sammaparikkara, that is removing two and adding two is what we call as the prerequisite, and staying in that bhavana is what is called as the bhavana, that is you develop it. So there are three processes: physical, that is kaya, vacha, chitta or mano. Physical process asapassa, mental process vedana sanya, and vachi sankhara is vitakka vichara. Why? Because breathing is a physical process and kaya. Thinking and pondering is in the mind, but that is what creates that speech, so vachi sankhara. Feeling and perception only happens in the mind, and hence it is mental. So then comes to the sanya vedeta nirodha. How do we establish it? So how do we establish it? Is by making animitta first, and then the vedana becomes upekha. Then you can establish. So we looked into that yesterday. Then how does the person go out? So the person's first thing that will happen is vachi sankhara is gone, because vitakka vichara is not there. Kaya sankhara is gone. The asapassa connected to mind is not there. Then the mano sankhara is gone, because there is no nitya sanya, that is the animitta has happened instead of nimitta. His sanya then is anicca sanya, and upekha happens. Now how does he get back? First nimitta comes, so in his mind comes back. Mind was closed, now the mind comes back. And the mind comes back, asapasa comes, and then vitakka vichara then comes. That is verbal. Now does he experience anything? Can he say that where was he? No, because there is no sanya, so he cannot say it. So when he has emerged from attainment of cessation of feeling and perception, how many kind of contact? 3. One is Shunya, Animitta, Appanihita, undirected. So the consciousness becomes undirected. So it is Vinyanam Anidasanam Anantam Sabbatopabham Yatta Patavicha Apo Cha Tejo Cha Vaya Cha Gadati Yatta Digam Cha Rasancha Anunathulam Shubha Ashubham Yatta Namancha Rupancha Asesam Uparajjati Vinyanasa Nirodhena Uparajjati. So this is experiencing it. So at that moment there is no Patavi, this body. There is no Apo, again in the body. There is no Tejo, temperature. There is no Vayu, Asapassa. So he knows that he has perfected it because the mind is so peace. Okay. It becomes undirected. Why? Because it is not going towards Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Neither it is going towards Dhiga, long, Rasa, short, Anu, minute, Thula, heavy or big one, or fat. Shubha, Ashubham. There is nothing to be Shubha about, there is nothing to be Ashubha about. Yatta Namancha Rupancha Asesam Uparujjati. All the name and forms are removed. So that Vinyana, which is unconditioned, which is conditioned, is no longer there. Vinyanasa Nirodhena Ethesam Uparujjati. Now it has reached Nibbana. So when they come out of Nibbana, what do they do? Is his question. So where does he slant when he's coming back? Where does he slant? Where does he slope? And where does he incline to? And she says their mind resides in Viveka, discrimination, what is real, what is unreal. Conventional reality they know, Paramarthika Satcha they know, Samuchi Satcha they know, Paramarthi Satcha they know. So that means they don't attach themselves to the to the Samuchi Satcha, but they are always there in Paramartha Satcha, which is Chitta Chetasika, Rupa Chitta Chetasika Nibbana. A normal person, always having name and form, will be in Samuchi Satcha. Husband, wife, children, house, bank balance, this, that, everything is Samuchi Satcha. Here, Paramartha Satcha. So their mind reside, fall, slope, and inclines to Viveka. So then we started with 3 feelings: pleasant, painful, and neutral. Now, if anything is felt in the body and the mind, which is likable or enjoyable is pleasure, dislikable and not enjoyable is pain, neither enjoyable nor non-enjoyable is neutral. So, what is pleasant, what is painful in each of these 3 feelings? So the pleasant feeling remains pleasant when there is no painful feeling. Painful feeling remains painful when there is no pleasant feeling. Neutral feeling is pleasant when there is knowledge and painful when there is ignorance. Then what are the tendencies for these 3 feelings? So raga is the tendency for pleasure, patigha is the tendency for painful, avijja is the tendency for neutral. So does it always stay in this way? No. To understand that, you should first get into the first jhana. the raga will go away with first jhana. Then when the raga goes away, you reflect upon how when Arahat and Anagami are going, how they are able to establish. So you get this do manasa. You feel you are yet to develop that. So when you see that, the patigha goes away. So kama raga patigha gone means you are an anagami. So you are very near to become an anagami. So you keep on practicing. And for the neutral feeling, how does the neutral feeling goes? So when the person enters into fourth jhana, so manasa, do manasa is gone, sukha dukkha is gone, now he is in fourth jhana. That will remove the avijja. So now here his question is, should we remove all of these tendencies and all of the instances of this feeling? No, not in all instances. Only when these things happen. So when you see something, bring the first jhana, this will go away. When you are feeling irritated of something, then you look at how Anagami and Arhats are enjoying. This will go away. When you are getting neutral feeling, there is something problem. So you watch these four. So manasa, do manasa, sukha dukkha. Sukha dukkha is of the body, so manasa, do manasa is of the mind. When you watch it, these four goes away, leading you to fourth jhana. Now he asks after this counterpart for each one of them, that like a coin counterpart, if there's heads, the other side is tail. So what is the counterpart for pleasant feeling? It is painful. What is the counterpart for painful feeling? It is pleasure, pleasant feeling. What is the counterpart for neutral feeling? Is ignorance. What is the counterpart of ignorance? Knowledge. What is the counterpart of knowledge? Is freedom, mukti. What is the counterpart of freedom? Nibbana. What is the counterpart of Nibbana? Nothing. So this is what the Cūḻavedallasutta is all about. It gives a complete information on what that needs to be done as a practice. If we were to do it correctly, we can become Arahat. For 100% sure, this one sutta can lead us to Arahat without any problem. That's all. So we are ending early today. I thought it will go till 9. Any questions or anything? And Swati ji, this Lasanta is going to come on Monday. So we will take that aura on Monday.
No problem.
Because he wants to hear about aura. So I told him, don't worry, we are not going to do anything till you come back on Monday. So anything you want to ask, or you are clear on what we need to do? All okay? Yes, Suyog.
As you always say that you should see other person as the same person as you are.
Correct.
So whenever I try to see, whenever I try to contemplate on that thing, there is something that comes into my mind, like the other person is having his own samkhara.
Correct.
He is made up of the 4 elements. Okay, fine, but his consciousness will be different than mine because he is having his own samkhara.
Correct.
So then how can I treat him as the same person as me? It's like myself.
No, he has the consciousness.
Yeah.
but his mind is different.
Yes.
So his body is different, his mind is different, but consciousness is the same. He becomes conscious with 5 senses like you. So when we say you see another person as yourself, it doesn't mean that he's not a different person. Like if I were to talk about myself with 4 of you today, Kalpana and Preeti and Swati and you, if I consider myself as you, what I am trying to say is you are also struggling like what I am struggling. You are also having pain like what I am having. You are also having pleasure like what I am having.
Yeah.
That is true. But I cannot take your sankhara, you cannot take my sankhara. I cannot take your kamma, you cannot take my kamma. What is the difference between me and you? Or me and Swati as an example. What's the difference? 2 differences. One, she's a female and I am a male. This is the first difference what we can find. Second difference, her kamma is different, my kamma is different. Other than that, all the feelings are same. She will feel pleasurable, painful, neutral. For what she will feel painful, for what she will feel pleasurable, for what she feel neutral is up to her. When we say her, it is her sankhara, her way of seeing things. But if a question is asked, will Swati feel? Yes, she will feel. Will Preeti feel? Yes, she will feel. So if we all have to be together, we should all feel neutral. That is what we should see, I should see of all of you. If lust comes, then I will not see all of you in the same way. I will be seeing differently. So the dikti will become wrong. Okay, because there is lust. Then that means there is raga. Then if it is dvesha, then I will hate one of you. If I have moha, then I will behave in another different way. So to say that we all are the same, we should look at whether this body is the same coming from food. Yes. Does there is a feeling in this body? Yes. Is there a feeling in the mind? Yes. Is it the same feeling as the other person? No. Is the deeds what we are doing same between both of us? No, they are different. So when we really see like this, mind will become very calm. Not that that other person will not do what he or she wants to do. They will do what they want to do because that is how their mind will go. Now we can't do anything about it. Or I can't do anything about it. Another example. In this whole, in the same group, what we are doing. So now Swati, in her example, as an example, she is following one person who is the every day when I look at her status, she puts a very nice status, very nice. But if I hate what she is putting, is it her problem? No, it is my problem. She is putting status. You want to see, you don't want to see, it's up to you. That is, in my case, it is up to me. But can I go back and tell to Swati, look, if you want to come to this class, don't put those status. What she has to say? She can't say anything. Because if I say I'm seeing you like me, no, I am wrong. I am trying to modify her the way I want her to behave, which is wrong. So what I should be doing is, I should allow her to do what she thinks she wants to do. But remember that I am equal to her, because her feelings are the same, her way of thinking is the same, her body is the same like mine, coming out of the food body. She is called as a woman and I am called as a man, but actually what we are doing is we are only eating food. And she did not grow this body, it is growing on its own. Nobody has grown this body, it is growing, because that is the nature. I did not take some hair and stick it here or stick it here or stick wherever. Or Swati or Preeti or Kalpana, they did not grow their hair in a different way. No, they don't even know how it is growing or how it becomes white, how it falls. We don't have to know that. That is a nature. So when we say that I am looking at a person in the same way, what I am trying to see is from consciousness. We all become conscious. That is same. But is it my consciousness equal to your consciousness? Yes and no. What you are going to feel, you are going to feel. What I am going to feel is I am going to feel, because the consciousness has what I can say, divided itself into so many different beings. Each being will experience what he or she has to experience. So in that way, there is compassion, because that person is also suffering. I am also suffering. That person is also suffering through consciousness. I am also suffering through consciousness. So, Suyog, I don't know how much did I answer to you.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes, all human beings are same, like that.
All beings, not only human, all beings are same. Not only humans. If I see an ant, it is 4 elements, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, with consciousness, and hence it is moving.
Okay. Body-wise, I read that the body-wise, all human beings are same.
Correct.
And the Dhamma-wise, all beings are same.
Body-wise, they look different. Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo look different, but inside it's only Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo only. There is no other thing. The tall and short, in my eyes, it looks tall and short. Right? But if I were to say we all are same, what it means? That the 4
not only living but non-living also, no?
Yes, then we come to non-living. Yes, so what is the difference between the living and non-living, like what I explained yesterday? The living has Jivita Indriya and the non-living doesn't have Jivita Indriya. That's the only difference. Because Jivita Indriya is there, then this Vastu Dasaka comes, that is the heart region. Dasaka. So that is the only difference. Otherwise, Shuddhashtaka is same. In everything, if you see, you have the Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo, Varna, Rasa, Gandha, Oja. Now, is consciousness there in this mobile? Yes. How? They have come together. The atoms are stuck together here. Otherwise, it will fall down. So if something is connected, that is the reason I was talking about enthalpy and entropy. The nature thing is to disintegrate, but this is integrated. This is integrated, the pen is integrated, the table is integrated, the chair is integrated. Preeti Tai, she has put that, what is that? One painting or drawing there. That is integrated. Now how it is integrated? Because of enthalpy, there is energy there. Otherwise it will not be there. It will fall down. So if the house is there, it is again due to that. So non-living and living, the only difference is Jiva. If Jiva is not there, Jivitindriya is there, so we are like this. And the whole consciousness is there. Now, mind has consciousness, it is conditioned. directed. So it is not anidesha, it is nirdesha. So vinyanam anidasanam, that is the dasana. Anidasana means undirected. In our case, we all 5 of us right now are directed. What you want to do, you will do. What I want to, I will do. Yeah.
So Bhante, living things, they are also made up of molecules and atoms.
Yeah.
So, and we are considering that they don't have consciousness.
Okay. Which ones?
So, non-living things. So they are also made up of atoms and molecules, and
No. They are coming together. See, what we call as energy is nothing but consciousness. So matter cannot be produced nor destroyed. Then energy cannot be produced nor destroyed. If they come together, they create a form. When it creates a form, that means there is consciousness. The only another different is there is no jiva. Nirjiva and jiva. When the hair falls from your body, nirjiva. When the hair is there on your body, it is having jiva. The same patavi, when it falls down, no jiva. And that's the reason when we take bath, we don't care. Hairs falling also we don't care, skin going also we don't care. In nothing we care. Because you yourself is consciousness, so you can't care. So maybe Suyog, it will take some time for you to really understand that you have to get beyond the Sakadagami level to really see how consciousness works everywhere. But all are directed. Plant also has consciousness, which has consciousness. It has feeling, but it has no mind. It has only feeling. All sentient beings, from a small ant to humans, it is the same. That is, you try to escape death. Ant also tries to escape death. From then, including the bacteria, they try to escape death. Anything that tries to escape death has mind. And what is that we need to do? See that without consciousness, there can't be any mind. That is what we need to learn. The fear of death is in the mind. 1 minute, I will tell one lady who will be joining now that we will not have a meditation session because we are discussing. Okay, so we need to get into that stage. That is, once we cross this Sakadagami level, you will leave out the possessions, because now you see that mind, no matter how much it starts to possess, it will lose it. So you will leave possessions, because that Nama and Rupa is all possession. So then you would leave it. So then you can see that everything is conscious. That is how it looks.
thank you, Bhante.
No problem. Should we continue? Should we end?
So, in our sutta, Cūḷavedallasutta, the Visakha is almost bhikkhu, and Dhammadinna also bhikkhuni. That's why in 6 months, the Visaka become Arahat.
No, you have to see like this. He was an Anagami before Dhammadinna.
Oh,
It's not that
yes.
he was a Sotapanna. He was an Anagami even
Anagami.
before.
Yeah, yeah.
Even before Dhammadinna was a normal woman.
Oh, she is also a Sotapanna, sir?
No. Initially, when this
Initially, okay.
when this discussion,
Initially, lay person. Yeah, yeah.
yes, initially the discussion during the bedroom conversation between the husband and wife, wherein this husband says that you are no longer my wife and I am like your brother at the max. If we have to stay together, from today you are my sister and I am your brother, and this wife is shocked. Okay, to please her husband, what she will do is she will wear a very nice dress to make him feel very attracted to her.
Yes.
And he says, if you do like this, I will now go out, leaving the whole property and everything to you. That makes her to think in the whole night, what has happened to my husband? How come this transformation in just 24 hours? How has it transformed? Then she, next day morning, she asks her husband or ex-husband, Visaka, saying that, take me to the place where you learnt this. And on the first day itself, she becomes a Sotapanna. That is how this journey becomes. In 10 days, she becomes an Arahat. Whereas Visaka has been an Anagami and he didn't know what to do. So she did much faster than what Visaka had even thought. He thought that this lady will never. And she proved to him that what he thought was wrong.
Did you have paramita, sir?
Yeah, which she didn't know.
Yeah.
Which she did. So now the question between the Samma Sambuddha Paramita and the Arahat Paramita, you should know it very clearly. Paramita need not be 100% perfected. If you are trying to perfect 100%, that means you will become a Samma Sambuddha.
Yes.
1 minute. She already started one call, so I messaged her. So I just informed her, let's see what happens. I had messaged her, but I don't know if she has seen it or not. Okay. So the paramita of a Arahat is that it is Raga, Dvesha, Moha has gone. But it doesn't mean that the 10 paramis are perfected. No. If 10 paramitas are going to be perfected, just like when Dipankara Buddha and Gautama was earlier
Sumedha. Yeah.
Sumedha.
Sumedha. His name is Sumedha.
Yeah, Sumedha. So at that time he was a Brahmin boy and he meets Dipankara. So then Dipankara says, you will become an Arahat. And he says, I don't want to be an Arahat. I want to be a Samma Sambuddha. Bless me that I can become a Samma Sambuddha. And after that, Sumedha had so many lives. So you have to be careful in understanding what this paramita is all about. Paramita means perfections. But it has a problem. If you start perfecting dana, you have to do it in every life. In some lives you will do, some lives you will not do. Because you don't remember. So there is no sati. So before death you should have all the sati. Then only it is possible. So it is huge work. So what Buddha said is that don't try for Samma Sambuddha when you can achieve Arahat. This is exactly Dipankara Buddha had told him. Don't try for Samma Sambuddha. But then Sumedha said, I want to become. Okay, become.
So then how much paramita is required for the Arahanta, sir?
Its quantification is very difficult. See, what happens is once you cross Anagami, you yourself will come to know. Because you know what is going to happen is that you will start getting visions. Okay, and like I think somebody spoke about the devas coming and all that. So you will go into the deva world. Okay, you will come to know where you will be born. All that happens. And the siddhis or iddhis will start to appear. And that will make you to find that the paramis have developed, without which anyway you can't do. So now the only difference here is how to be in that state for a long period of time. That's the only thing you will really do. So it becomes very helpful for having gone till Anagami, because now you don't have anything to lose. Even if you were to die, you are dying as an Anagami. So now you have to put on effort to become an Arahat. So because the paramis are there, it will push you to Arahat. So where you will get a problem? You will get a problem when you are moving from Sotapanna to Sakadagami, because that is where you have to let go of all the possessions. People try to do it forcefully. No, force doesn't work. It should automatically happen in your mind. So that's the first thing. Then the second thing is that once you cross this Sakadagami, Anagami is only two. That is Kamaraga and Patigga. Both will go away. So when there is no sensual lust, but Ruparaga, Aruparaga exist, but sensual lust is gone. The Patigga is gone. You are Anagami. Then you have to fight with higher level issues. That is jhanic bliss which comes. That is a raga. That you have to stop. Because you should always be in upekha. It is very difficult to be in upekha. When you are having such a nice feeling, it's very hard. So Ruparaga, Aruparaga will remain. Then Udacha, restlessness is going to be there. Mana, because now you are the only person who knows the Buddha Dhamma correctly, because you have now achieved Anagami. So that also has to go. Then Avijja goes. So there you require parami. Here lesser parami is okay. There you require more parami. So quantification is difficult. So what I said initially also, I can help you to become Anagami, but I might not know how to help you to become Arahat, because I am yet to become myself an Arahat. Now whenever it happens, it happens. Then sadhu, sadhu, sadhu is there, but I have to put in the effort. Where is the problem? Jhana is the problem. The 8 jhanas is a problem, because you become so nice in that. You can establish jhana at any time. Even when you are in this the crematorium, that somebody is dead and you have taken your own daughter or son or wife or husband or whoever, you will be in jhana. because you don't feel anything about the death. And you come back smiling. And other people will say that what kind of husband he is here, he is smiling and coming. He doesn't feel anything. And there's nothing to feel. But there's an attachment to Rupa Raga, Arupa Raga, because now you can be in Rupa realm of existence when you are in funeral. Or you can be in Arupa level of existence when you are in funeral. Because you are no longer in sensuality. So you don't feel anything about any senses. Sight, sound, taste, touch, smell, and thoughts. Gone. Somebody dying is a sight. That is not there. People are crying, they're hitting themselves, their tears are coming, you are watching. No sound. No touch. 3 things gone. No, anyway, nobody smells any dead body, so that is of waste. Okay, so no smell and no taste. Anyway, nobody can eat the dead body. So 2 things automatically are not there. Only these 3 things, they are not there. So you are so happy. Others are crying, but you are just sitting and enjoying. They say, take this dead body and let's go to crematorium. Okay, we'll go to crematorium. Then you can establish jhanas and sit there. Correct. Because you don't have kamaraga, you don't have patigga. You don't feel any sadness. You don't feel any irritation. You don't feel anything at all. And there is no raga. Because raga will bring in dvesha. So because there is no raga, there is no dvesha. But in the funeral ground, having established Rupa Jhana or Arupa Jhana, Udacha, then Mana, sufficient that you will be only Anagami. Because Avidya is still not gone. And without ignorance going, no Arahat. So, it is difficult. Parami is required there more than here. So I can't teach you how to become an Arahat for sure. If you are following me to become an Arahat, you are following a blind person.
Here Avidya is of which type?
4 elements.
4 elements.
That will happen only at Arahat. See, now Anagami also experience it. Example. It's not good to take wife and husband as death and all that. Let's say somebody dies very close to you. Okay. Now what is the first reaction? Do you take it as 4 elements? Ask this question. If you are taking it as 4 element, then you are Arahat already. Meaning not about crying. See, you can't force it, saying that, oh, okay, now it has not happened. So you will say that, yes, I will take it like that. If it happens, at the very instance, you will take it as 4 element. And you are not establishing into jhana to escape from there. Then Arahat. Yatha bhuta jnana. It's not easy, Preeti ji, to become an Arahat. And you should get all the siddhi. That is, you are able to get out of body, go wherever, whichever, and you should be able to see where this being is going. Let us say my wife is dead and I am able to see where she is going. This is the most important thing. And I should be able to help her. Is it possible right now? No. So, I can teach you ways to become an Anagami. If I become an Arahat, I will tell you. Because how will you come to know? Like that day I was saying that I'll come to your home. Then you
will become Arahat and come to our house.
Yeah, no problem. So then I can sit next to you and we can chat and we can have chai also. If I can take the rupa, then I can have chai or whatever it is. That is good. But right now, am I an Arahat? No. Very far away from becoming an Arahat. Not very near. So it is like from walking from here to America.
Yes, sir. Away from that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. And we are talking
It
about
happens like Eureka effect, no? It happens like Eureka effect.
all of it happens like Eureka only, not only Arahat, even Sotapanna is Eureka effect only. Sakadagami is also Eureka. And Anagami is also Eureka. You can't make it happen. It can happen right now also. It can happen at whatever time, but it will happen. It is like you are taken a coconut and you are hitting on that, and it
You don't know which side.
which side, and it is so tough, so you hit it, nothing happens. Second round, nothing happened. Third round, nothing happened. Fourth round, nothing happened. Fifth round, one small crack, that is sufficient. That tuk sound is sotapanna. Okay, then again you hit it, some more sound and water starts pouring down. That means Sakadagami. Now you are able to see inside. Anagami. Totally gone. Arahat. Simple. Now you have to check within yourself. You are that coconut which is fully covered and not yet.
And hard. And very hard to
And very hard to break.
Even I can't read anyone's aura. So that much hard as coconut I am.
And that's okay. So you have understood that you are hard coconut. So you know that you are hard. That is the starting point. That's a very good. So now you know where to hit it. See, most of the people don't even know that they are hard coconut. That is a problem. At least you know you are hard coconut. So there is some realization. See, some people, they listen, but they don't know they are hard coconut. They feel that, what is there? I will listen. Then they will listen to another person. Then they listen to another person, another person, another person. That means they will make it more harder and harder and harder. Right? At least you have realized that you are a hard coconut. Good. It will open up. Okay. Little bit. Tuk sound comes. Okay, now I am a Sotapanna because now it is opened up. Now the question comes, that tuk sound coming, tomorrow itself I'll become a Sakadagami, it will open up everything. No. Because it's again hard coconut. So it will take time. And see, for a Sammasambuddha, that Sumedha took so many lives, and Dipankara Buddha told him, why are you going to waste your time like this? You have all the paramis to become an Arahat in this life. And he said, no, I am not here to become a Arahat, I am here to become Sammasambuddha. And that's the effort. And that is what the Jataka tales is all about of Buddha, because he was able to see in every life how he has transformed, and then he became Gautama. How many lives? See, I remember one life, that is 732 AD. Now we are in 2021. So how many lives I have spent, if I were to take from 700 to 2000 means 1400 already. Even if I have survived 100 years as a human being, in every human being life I have survived 100 years, means I have already crossed 14 lives. And in 732 when I was there, I was then also a teacher doing spiritual discussions like this. Now also I am doing the same thing. Have I grown or have I stagnated? I feel I have got stagnated. What have I grown? And another thing, Iddhis, out out of 108, I knew 94. Now how much I know? 16. I have gone down. If I were to put a graph, instead of going up, it is going down. It's a waste, right?
Why, sir? Why is it so?
All the iddhis are like that only. If you use them, they will go. And that's the reason Buddha says don't use any iddhis. In my previous lives, I would have showcased myself. Look, I can do this, I can do that, and do this, do that, and it is good, no? Good to showcase and say that, look, I know these many things. See, example, I can read Pali and I can understand. That itself is a siddhi, right? Now next life, no Pali. Gone. I know Sanskrit, I know Pali. Two good things to know. To understand the scriptures, both I know. And I also know the Vedanta, I also know this side. So I know both. That is also a siddhi. Now if I showcase it, gone. Now in the next life, 16 becomes 1 or 2. Another siddhi I have. You know what? Fun. Wherever I go, people feed me. Whichever home I go, whichever place I go, people feed me. Feed me in the sense, not just simple feeding. I get a car, I get a hotel to stay, they pick me up, they drop me. I don't know who they are, but they will do all of this. Okay? And
This is the Kamma Vipaka, sir.
all are Kamma Vipaka only. This is a good Kamma Vipaka. So now they give me breakfast, lunch, dinner. Okay. There is one friend, there is one tour operator who is in Ladakh. So we both met, and then I was talking about Buddha teaching, and he said, yeah, I also follow Buddha teaching and all that. And he liked me, and he became friend. Now he has built one room for me. Whenever I go, that is my room. He says, Vilas ji, it is your room. It's a huge room. So whenever I go, I don't have to stay in a hotel. Okay, this is one thing. Then the hotel people, they said that we will give you stay. Please stay in our hotel. Every new hotel which opens up, I go and stay. Fun. And they give me breakfast, for lunch and dinner. See, this room cost 18,000 rupees. Okay, only room cost, no food or anything. Room cost. I am staying in that room, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a car. Wherever you want, you can go. This is good, right? So these are all paramis. These are all your siddhis. Due to parami. Now the problem is you are going to lose it. If I feel I am enjoying it, I am going to lose it. So next life, nobody will feed me. So you have to be very careful of the siddhis. So you should not use them. Anyway, so let us not worry about the siddhi and the parami. So we have enough parami
We don't
to.
want siddhi or anything.
Yes.
We don't want siddhi.
We don't want. Yeah. You will leave it.
So, we will bypass those siddhis. and
Yes.
all.
No, you will get it. No, you will get it. You don't have to bypass. Everybody will get it. But it is not equivalent to what a Buddha gets. He gets perfect. Perfect in this. That's the reason he becomes omnipresent and omnipotent, because he can see all the lokas at once. And he can go where no person can go. Meaning, even as when I had that experience in 2019 September, when I went to each realms of existence, that being who met me said that you can't go after this. You don't have the parami to go there, or you don't have the kamma to go there. Then I asked him, what are those? He said, you can't. So there's no point in you knowing it. You go back. So he showed me the lower to the higher. So what I felt on that day is that next life where I did born. So I came to know that which level I can be reborn. But the problem of the rebirth is, again you are going to come down to human realm of existence. So I have to stop the womb level of existence. That is what it is. Otherwise, next life I will become a human being, but I will be like this today, very happy with a nice family. Wife is also spiritual, son is also spiritual, money wise no problem, health wise no problem. Okay, people love me, respect me, they do all of that. Okay, and that is good. And whomever I speak, they feel very happy. In the end, they feel very happy, have spoken to me. Next life also same thing, no difference. Maybe now I have a slightly fairer skin, at that time dark skin, maybe good hairs or no hairs now, and maybe tall and now short, or whatever it is. And that is what maximum you'll get.
But next, you are born in Suddhavasa, sir, not.
That's correct. So at least Shuddhavasa is better than coming back here. No need to hunt for food. Okay, it's almost 9. Fine then, good night, and we'll meet tomorrow at 6 p.m. Swati ji, tomorrow 6 p.m. Okay.
Tomorrow I have one meeting, I am not able to attend tomorrow.
No problem.
Is it recording? It will be a recording?
Yes, every day it will be recorded. So don't worry, I will share you the link.
I will hear the recording then.
Okay.
After 9 o'clock.
Okay, madam. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Namo Buddhaya. Thank you.
Namo
Bye.
Buddhaya.
Namo.